Hello gorgeous peeps, I'm Chris from TechSpert, and this week I've been testing out the Urbanista Londons, a pair of true wireless earbuds that sport very similar looks and features to the AirPods Pro, except that these bad boys will cost you about £100 less than Apple's buds. And now that pubs are finally starting to reopen again, that's definitely a good bit of cash save for the old beer fund. So here's my full review of the Urbanista London true wireless earbuds, and for more on the latest greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So you can grab the London buds from the Urbanista website right now for £129, and you can snaffle them in 4 different colours. These bad boys right here are the white pearl colour option, definitely got a nice glossy sheen to them, but you can also grab the Urbanista Londons in rose gold, dark sapphire, or just plain old black. And as to be said, Apple probably does deserve a bit of design credit here, especially with the white model, which does look very similar to those AirPods Pro. They've got a similar curvy finish, and of course the old mini stems sprouting out of the bottom as well, although at least the Urbanista Londons do come in that choice of colours, unlike the AirPods. That combination of the light design and also those silicone earbuds means that the Urbanista Londons are nice and comfortable to wear even for hours at a time. And as usual with true wireless earbuds, you get different sizes of the actual silicone tips as well, so you can get the ones that fit your own particular ear shape really well, get them nice and snug in there, and once you do find the correct fit, you'll find that they do sit in there very snugly indeed, no worries of them popping out as you're even jogging down the street for your bus, whatever you're trying to do. And just to prove the point, wash test. And the Urbanista Londons are IPX4 sweat resistant as well, so they're not full on water resistance. Don't go having them stuffed in your ears while you're chilling at the pool or whatever you do, just in case they slip out. If they get submerged, they'll probably break. But if you want to rock them while you're doing your workout, whatever, all good. Now pairing up the Urbanista Londons over Bluetooth with your smartphone is a piece of pie. Basically took me a few seconds from yanking them out of the case, job done. And if you do need to reconnect to a different device as well, all you need to do is just long press the button inside of the case and they enter pairing mode again. And I had no issues with the connectivity either. When the Urbanista Londons were paired up to my smartphone, if I was streaming music or on a call or whatever, not a single stutter or stammer, that audio connection stayed strong. Now unfortunately you don't get any kind of app support from Urbanista for the Londons, which is something that a lot of true wireless earbuds now do offer. So for instance, you can't customize the touch controls at all. That said, I did find that the touch controls at least were very good indeed, very responsive. So what you need to do is basically a single tap of the left bud to lower the volume, single tap of the right in order to boost it up again. And you've got full on active noise cancellation here on the Urbanista Londons as well, and you can activate that or deactivate it by long pressing on the right bud. And likewise you also have an ambient mode which you can activate or deactivate with the long press of the left bud instead. And I'll definitely touch on those more in a little bit. Meanwhile, if you want to pause or play your music, you can do that with a double tap of the left bud. And you can call up your smartphone assistant with a double tap of the right bud as well, although sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. And I found that I learned the correct area to tap and the correct rhythm to tap and all that kind of stuff fairly quickly as well. There wasn't really much of a learning curve at all. So as far as touch controls go on true wireless earbuds, they're pretty damn good. However, if you've been paying attention, you'll know that of course there's no way of skipping tracks, unfortunately, with the Urbanista Londons, which can be a little bit irritating if you're just trying to get to the best songs on an album or whatever, or you're trying to skip through a boring advert bit in a podcast, something like that. But back on a positive note, the Urbanista Londons do at least have in-ear detection, so if you pull out one or both of the buds, it will automatically pause your music, and then it will actually resume as well once you shove them back in your lug holes. And I did find occasionally that I would just, just adjust an earbud, just tweak it a little bit to make it a little bit more comfy or something, and it would do that auto pause thing, but it only happened occasionally, wasn't really a problem. And apparently the audio output on the Urbanista Londons was worked on by one Axel Grell as well. If you don't know who he is, he was basically Sennheiser's chief sound engineer for 3 decades. And I've got to say, the Urbanistas do put out some good quality sound for a pair of true wireless earbuds around this sort of price point. Did a pretty good job of the full range from the lows all the way up to the highs, although I've got to say, if you bass fans out there, you'll be better served by something like the Anker Spirit Dot 2s, which I only just reviewed a few days ago. Those have definitely got much more of a kick to them when it comes to your rock music. Your metal music sounds a lot more full bodied, a lot more thrashy, really good stuff indeed. But I found that the Urbanista Londons were definitely good for a range of music, from pop to classical to jazz, all that kind of stuff. The more mellow stuff tends to sound really nice, and vocals sound good too. And for the true audiophiles out there among you, I definitely still recommend the Jabra Elite 75Ts as well. If you can spend a little bit more money, those sound absolutely out of this world for a pair of true wireless. But the call quality seemed absolutely fine here on the Urbanista Londons. The microphones picked up my voice cleanly. Sometimes if it was in a noisy environment, that would kind of intrude a little bit. I'd have to speak up a bit, but apart from that, all good. Now onto the active noise cancellation, which is a really good feature to find in a pair of true wireless earbuds closer to the £100 mark. Tends to be you have to spend at least 150 to get that sort of feature on board, unless you're grabbing something like the Honor Magic Buds. So my expectations weren't particularly high for the Urbanistas, but I gotta say I was impressed. I found that the ANC worked really well. If you're walking alongside busy traffic, something like that, it'll help to drown out that noise, trains, things like that. It'll all become just kind of a low rumble. So definitely really good for getting your own nice little peace bubble on the go. It's particularly good if you're listening to a podcast or an audiobook. It means you don't have to jack up the volume if you're in a really noisy environment. I did find if I was jogging or there was quite a bit of wind going on, I did get a little bit of that sort of distortion, that interference, that kind of crinkly sound that you get, but nothing to the sort of degree that I got from the likes of the Honor Magic Buds, thankfully. And if you want the opposite effect, you actually want to be aware of what's going on around you when you're out and about. If you want to have a quick conversation with someone, just long press that left bud and that will activate the ambient mode. And what this does is it just pumps in sound from all around you, using the mic straight into your locals, so you don't have to take the buds out. And it works pretty well. You do get a constant hiss, which is quite irritating. And also when you activate the ambient mode, it doesn't pause your music or lower the volume at all. So if you are going to try and have a conversation with someone, you will have to then also pause and everything as well. So slightly awkward, but it's a nice to have. As for the battery life, well, Urbanista predicted that you would get 5 hours of use out of the case from the true wireless earbuds, and I found that I got just over that, in fact, and that was with active noise cancellation turned on as well. Do not rely on the battery prediction in the Bluetooth settings on your smartphone though, because it reckoned I still had about 70% of life after 3 full hours of constant use here on the Urbanista Londons as well, so I was getting ready to be very impressed indeed. And then sadly it immediately plummeted from 70 to 30 in about 20 minutes. And sort of 5-6 hours of battery life per charge is pretty standard for a pair of true wireless earbuds, although my absolute favourites, the Creative Outlay Gold, still really impressed. They get you between 10 to 12 hours of use on a full charge. It's definitely great stuff. And when it is time to recharge the Urbanista Londons, just slip them back in the case, and you'll notice of course that the case has a handy 4 LED light indicator there on the front, and that gives you an indication of how much battery charge is actually left in the case itself, and it'll also flash intermittently when the buds inside are charging. And when it comes time to actually recharge the case itself, you've got a bit of Type-C USB support, and the Urbanista London case will also wirelessly recharge as well, which is great news if you've got a smartphone with reverse wireless charging. It means you can power up the case on the go. And that right there is my full review of the Urbanista London after using them as my true wireless earbuds for a good few days. And they're not among my absolute favourites, but definitely pack some decent features, including some solid ANC for that $129 price point. It's definitely a lot more affordable than the likes of those AirPods. But I'd certainly be more than happy rocking them as my full-time buds, that's for sure. Have you been using the Urbanista Londons? It'd be great to hear from you down in the comments below. And please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. I'm reviewing 1 or 2 pairs of these a week at the moment because there are so many doing the rounds. So definitely go check out some of my other reviews for alternatives. Have yourselves a lovely week, people. Cheers everyone. Love you.